So I wanted to talk about having the gift of prophecy. And this is a book called Jewish Spirituality, and it's from the Bible through the Middle Ages. And it's written by, sorry about that, Arthur Green. I'm telling you, I'm still getting used to this. Okay, Jewish Spirituality by Arthur Green. Okay. And one of the things it says is that prophecy is an overwhelming event in the life of the prophet. And some examples of this come from the Old Testament, where Isaiah says, "You put a hot coal in my mouth." And the prophets and Moses really didn't want to be prophets, and they tried to not accept it, but then it was such a powerful thing because the Holy Spirit is the gift of prophecy, and if you have it, it's a gift, and it's overwhelming in the sense that you have to express the sentiment of the prophecy. And when I was living in Los Angeles, I was attending a church of Father Kennedy in downtown LA, and he was a prophet. He denounced United States foreign aid to Central America as a mortal sin. And I went to his Mass for 2 years. So I'm bilingual, and his Mass was in Spanish. He's one of the most beautiful people I've ever met, and he works with youth at risk in Boyle Heights. And he was the pastor of Our Lady Queen of Angels Church from 1980 to 1989. And I drove all the way from Pasadena on the windy Pasadena freeway, got off at the Chinatown exit to go to Our Lady Queen of Angels Church, often on a Sunday, while I was attending Cal State LA, working on my teaching credential. And I was very inspired by Father Kennedy because I knew he was telling the truth, and I was really... I had a lot of admiration for him because he was telling the truth, which is that our foreign policy was a mortal sin, and it was creating a civil war in El Salvador where 70,000 people were killed. And Father Kennedy often talked at Mass that we all had a responsibility to be prophetic. And I received the gift of prophecy from Father Kennedy. And this is not a rational thing, it's irrational. And when the Holy Spirit comes to a person in prophecy, it's irrational, but it is identified as the having the gift of prophecy. And one of my wonderful people is Hildegard of Bingen. And this book was written, commentary by Matt Fox. Hildegard of Bingen, and that's Illuminations. And it says that Hildegard was not only a mystic, she was a prophet. And she sees herself and her work consciously and deliberately as prophetic. She disturbs the complacent, deliberately provoking the privileged, be they emperors or popes, abbots or archbishops, monks or princes, to greater justice and a deeper sensitivity to the oppressed. Hildegard was not a lone prophet. She inspired dozens and dozens of Benedictine sisters, monks, laypersons all around her to launch into a new Christian spirituality. Furthermore, she launched the political mystical movement in the Rhineland that was in no way silenced after her death. As I have written elsewhere, she can rightly be called the grandmother of the Rhineland mystics. A movement which included Francis of Assisi, Metchild of Magdeburg, Meister Eckhart, Julian of Norwich, Nicholas of Cusa, all of whom brought the powers of mysticism to bear on not supporting the status quo, but on energizing the prophetic in society and church. For Hildegard, justice was the dominant role in her cosmos, her psychology, her theology of work and morality. Reading Hildegard, one can understand more fully Meister Eckhart's statement that the person who understands what I say about justice understands everything I say. While the themes of justice and cosmic balance and harmony permeate all of Hildegard's work, perhaps the best is summarized in the last vision, Vision 25, the blessed ones, the happy ones who moved God in their time on earth and stirred God with sincere striving and just works. Justice is the primary struggle of creation. To allow injustice to reign is to invite chaos to take over.